and welcome back to round 2, back 9 of the 2025 PDGA Champions Cup presented by OTB and MVP Disc Sports. This is FPO coverage. I'm Ella Hansen.
I'm Erika Stinchcomb, and you nailed it.
Woo!
Welcome, everybody.
The intro. Let's go.
It's a good time. We got a special guest in the booth. We got a beautiful California day out here.
We got some goslings.
We do have some goslings and some foxes and some
I
don't know. It's just a good time to be alive, honestly.
It is.
Especially if you're Silva Saarinen 5 down through 9, 5 down through 9 hot round in first place. Kind of cruising out here. Hanna Huynh right behind her. We got a bunch of people well under par and a lot of holes left to play.
Yeah, this is hole 10, par 4, 591. I think we're going to see most players go to the right gap of what the drone filmed, trying to land in between these trees. And then we've got a nice little water carry for our second shot up to an elevated basket. This pond is OB. There is OB left. There is OB right. There is also OB deep, but you shouldn't find it. But we've got definitely a challenging hole. It takes 2 good shots to get a birdie on.
Yeah, it's really easy to be out of position off this tee shot. It was a left to right wind today, so you can kind of see it maybe messing with Hanna's disc a little bit. I love the hyzer, but I was a little hesitant today.
Yeah.
When I came through, it was a pretty stiff wind.
I feel like with that left to right, you do have to put some more height on it, and Hanna didn't quite do that, but it was okay. Wow. And
I'm surprised that's in bounds.
Yeah. Kristin did something similar yesterday, too, into that little bush.
Kind of rare. You don't really see that.
Yeah, it definitely can get into your head, though. Paige throwing a beautiful flip up. That is exactly how you want to do it.
Absolute bomb from Paige. She will be in position to attack. Ella, I am imagining that this hole is a little shorter to the right than it was in previous years. Do you think that's true? I think it wasn't hidden behind those bushes before, you know?
Oh.
I thought it was like a little bit farther and straighter. Sounds like you don't know.
I don't know, but maybe.
It feels like it anyway.
I can see that. This one's actually kind of funny because last year this was one of the only, I think maybe it was the only hole that did have an A and B pin.
I know. I actually really liked it as a 5. Did you?
I liked it, but I think I like the par 4 version better.
There. Check out this shot from Hanna.
Wow.
Really aggressive from where she was and pushes that kind of sawgrass or whatever that is. Perfect angle.
Kristin with some good distance, but a little bit pinched left. We saw her in a similar position yesterday and blasting it up to the right.
Yeah, that'll work.
Right to circle one's edge.
Definitely a risky approach from there.
Yeah, the right side, you're definitely taking some more of those bushes and trees into play. Left side is cleaner on the approach.
Man, Paige able to throw just a nice little slow speed approach shot. Love that huge drive. The right side, you're right, does bring in more into play on the second shot, but I feel like that's just how you get way down there, you know?
For sure.
Silva's third going right at it, fading just a little bit.
Yeah, maybe just a little too much height, a little too much nose up maybe, but she'll have a putt.
Kristin for a birdie. Leaves it low from about 28 feet.
And that is elevated, but she was up on a little bit of a hill, and I think that can kind of mess with your depth perception just a little bit, being on a hill, but also with an elevated basket.
Yeah, Paige with a similar situation here, leaves it low.
Silva for par to keep her...
splashes out.
Keep the bogey-free streak alive,
Dang.
Unfortunately.
Almost a really great save from an errant tee shot, but Hanna, the only one able to put it together, and that's a turkey.
There we go, Hanna.
Gobble, gobble.
Yeah, and sometimes it does take a few extra holes to settle in, especially on a big lead card at a major like this.
Yeah, but so important that she kept it clean, like you said, and
yes.
Wasn't taking bogeys or having a lot of compounding mistakes.
Right, and still putting herself in position. Now she's just 2 strokes off of the lead.
Yeah, well done, Hanna.
This was, this hole played 4.18. There were 12 birdies on the day. Definitely a scoreable hole, but lots of danger.
Hole 11 is a tricky par 3 at 347 feet. There's all of this water in your way, so you see a lot of either just turnovers, or if you want to get really aggressive, backhand flex shots. You do see some forehands, though it makes you carry the water a lot longer. The water is all of 6 feet away, I think, to the
Sounds about
behind
right.
it, and maybe 8 feet to the left of it. So if you aren't inside the circle off your drive, it's an incredibly, even if you are inside, it's a risky putt to run. Trying to remember the wind here. I want to say it was kind of taily.
Yeah, it looks from those, that little pollen flying around a little bit left to right here, a little left to right tail, and Hannah doesn't quite get enough turn, but lands on the land bridge.
It was indeed a tail. And I swear, I said this yesterday actually, like once per event on coverage, or maybe like once on anyone's card, you see someone land on that asphalt land bridge. Like, it's unbelievable. It's so skinny.
I like that it's inbounds though.
Me too.
It just adds a little bit of pizzazz, you know?
Yeah, pizzazz is a good word for it. Paige, man, that looked like it was going to be perfect, or maybe skipping even too far past the basket. I'm not sure if that tree helped or hurt, but regardless, it was a gorgeous shot.
Kristin going with kind of a pure hyzer flip, pushing those bushes on the right, but that looks so good.
That is good. It's risky if you push those bushes, I found out. So
Yeah.
I hit them. And then it's a re-tee.
Yeah, that's not great.
Kristin did it a whole lot better. Just the tailwind gives it a little bit of extra difficulty, although it looks a little bit left to right, like, as you said here.
Yeah.
Silva working at that right side, going to be deep in circle 2. That's most likely a par.
Yeah, one of the things about
Water dogs.
diver in the water. Shout out to the divers here at Swenson. They recover so many discs.
Hundreds. It's amazing. And yep, this is the story of hole 11.
Lay it up if you're outside the circle.
Owen Scoggins may be the only one insane enough to run at it multiple times.
Yep.
I've seen it over and over.
I also have seen it. That is one of my first memories of playing with Owen, was on this hole. She was like 45 feet a few years ago and just was like, go for it.
Yeah.
Just canned it. I was like, all right, of course.
Classic Owen. Paige converting the birdie really nicely off a perfect drive there, and Kristin doing the same.
Yeah, good bounce back from that missed circle 1 putt on the last hole. I'm kind of scary to have that next one be on this hole, but
I'm guessing not a whole lot of birdies on this one.
no, a whole ton of pars, actually. 68% of the field with a par on this one. Just 6 birdies.
It's just not quite the one to attack really hard.
Yeah, we had Paige, Kristin, Evelina, Lisa Fakis. I got the birdie, and so did Valerie Mondahano.
Did you go forehand?
No, I went backhand flex.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Did you throw mid?
Yeah.
Nice.
MD4. So a couple of birdies there from Paige and Kristin. 2 pars. You don't feel too bad with a par on that one, honestly.
Yeah, for sure.
You'd be happy to be forced into a decision to lay it up.
Yeah. This one you're not too unhappy with a par either.
Not too bad. This is hole 12, par 4, 619 feet. Drone flew up the left gap. There is also a right side gap, and then we have OB pond, OB to the left. This basket is right up. The last one was maybe 6 feet from the OB. This one's maybe more like 12 or 15 feet, but still very close. There is also a nesting goose.
Yeah.
Up probably about 50, 60 feet from the basket.
That you know pretty well, yeah?
I sure do. Fortunately, not too closely, but it was a little scary.
Paige impressed with her own drive. That was a huge shot out to the right. She's going to have an over the water shot. But yeah, didn't they put in some casual relief from that goose? Probably because of you.
Yeah. I don't think I was the only one to be over in that area, but
fair.
Definitely. And you can see this is yet another hole where we have a new tree added on that right side, just to make you think about it a little bit more.
Kristin taking the right side, getting way down there. Hanna taking the left side, which I think used to be the more common play, but they brought that left side OB line in so close, and it often is a tailwind. It was yesterday, it was today, that it feels a little risky to go on that left side.
Yeah, that OB is definitely a lot tighter. We see this great drive from Silva. That is how you want to play that left side with a little bit of a flip up. Oh my gosh,
Look
those
at
are
the
so
little
cute.
one. I swear we've seen some out there that are a day old. They're still really clumsy.
Yeah.
So cute.
Hanna lined up with this inside gap. You kind of have two clean options on this hole. There's this left side between those two big trees we see, and more of that open shot over the right, which I think we'll see from Paige. Can't tell if Silva's lining up. Oh, she's going over the water.
Out.
That looks good.
Oh,
yeah.
It looks perfect.
Beautifully done. That is a scary shot.
It sure is.
Those branches are absolutely over the water, and if you tickle one, you could be losing a disc forever.
And Kristin hit those branches yesterday, though I believe kicked safe. Today, going to go safer sidearm. But as we saw from Hanna's approach, it's kind of tough to get all the way to the pin. Most of the time, you're leaving yourself a circle 2 look with this kind of play.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and getting
nice little roll, though.
I really like this forehand play up the middle.
Yeah.
I think it's a pretty clean, a little bit safer.
And this is the advantage of going this far to the right like
come
Paige
on.
did. Wide open look. What a shot.
Yeah, that is definitely a good play. I'm looking at that side a little bit more for the par 5 position, which we'll be playing tomorrow.
Yeah.
But Paige showing exactly how to do it for this par 4 A-pin. And Hanna, another one where it's like your circle 2. Yeah, I'm probably going to lay it up.
I think it said it was almost 0.4 strokes over par, so par is absolutely fine on this one.
Yeah, this was tied for the 4th most difficult hole on the day.
Kristin a little low on that one.
Just 8 birdies. Not too bad, but quite a lot of over par strokes on this one. So
yeah, they can stack up. Silva with one of those 8 birdies. And coming in hot.
These few holes, you are just around some geese.
Yeah.
You gotta be ready.
Yeah, I had one that like tried running in front of me, and it had its wings up and was like ready to take off, and its like neck feathers were sticking out. It legitimately scared me.
I saw one drop out of a tree, and it just made me laugh. It looked so silly.
They do look silly.
Oh, we got that the diver view. Honestly, that is a unique view of a disc golf tournament right there.
I think more diver view in the footage.
Yeah, let's get some more of that.
In the last 2 years, the Power Disc Golf Academy has helped over 12,000 disc golfers improve their game. Our program has proven time and time again to increase our members' performance and ratings. With over 250 video tutorials taught by the world's best players, it's easy to see why our academy is so trusted. To celebrate, we're running an anniversary sale of 60% off the first year of your subscription. Visit powerdga.com and use promo code 2YEAR to join today.
Hole 13, a par 4, 565 feet. We did move backwards just a little bit from previous years, and the left side OB is quite a bit tighter, so the tee shot's a little bit harder. You don't want to get past those branches we just flew around. And then we are playing the left position, which I think is a little bit harder. It's pretty close to the water. The angle's a little tougher, just kind of the way the green is shaped. Anything from the fairway that goes out of bounds, water or just OB line, proceeds to a drop zone that's pretty shallow in circle 2. I think this is a really cool and fair hole, very scoreable, but things can go wrong. It was a headwind.
Yeah, the headwind brings in a lot of challenge on this hole with that narrowed fairway, and Paige going just OB on the right side. Silva went OB right off this tee shot yesterday, making a great correction.
Yeah, that is really good.
And you can see that tee pad there. That's the MPO tee pad. You really do just want to try to get past that and just past this big tree, and you should have some sort of a look
Just
into
like
the green.
Yep. Okay, on this one, we're farther back, right?
Yes,
Okay,
these
great.
two trees,
Weren't
you can
in
kind of see
play.
where that mulch is
Yeah.
right there in front. That's where we were teeing off from before, and I think this decision just to bring a couple more challenges in on that tee shot. I think it's a good change.
Yeah, I think it's still very fair.
Paige.
Yeah, throwing 3 from way back here. And this is a tough angle because it's fading right towards the out of bounds. Oh. We'll see if he
that's tough.
Gives her the mark. Oh, wait, is it mandatory drop zone or it's mandatory,
I believe it's mandatory, yeah.
It is, yep.
So she will go to the drop zone. That looks a little low, but just enough height.
And that would be a really great shot for the B position. Instead, it's just a pretty great shot for the A position.
I feel like for both these positions, I'm kind of aiming for the same place.
Totally.
Just middle
splitting
of
the circle.
I'm like, all right.
Yeah, I feel you.
And Hanna does it perfectly. That's a great shot today. That'll be a great shot tomorrow as well.
Yeah, she's within 20 feet. That was awesome. Silva with a huge tee shot here.
Great correction on her mistake yesterday.
This looks a little... Okay, a little perfect. Little perfect is what I was going to say.
Yep, a little perfect. Just hitting off that bank. And one of the unique things on this course is you can see a lot of those OB lines are pretty high off the water just because there are some inconsistencies, I think, down on the water line.
Get it, Paige.
That's for bogey, right? She went OB.
Yeah, got it in 3 strokes, but unfortunately a bogey. Look at her get it.
Slow as she was leaning, and she knew that was in.
Fantastic putt. Way to minimize the damage. And another one just outside the circle for Kristin Lätt for another birdie.
That's a great Hanna trying to add to the birdie streak. Well, not the streak, but
she had a
the
streak.
birdie counter.
She's starting a new streak right now.
Exactly.
Great conversion. And it's cool because this course, the playing aggressive can really pay off, like Hanna's just did on that shot, or Paige's on the last shot. She got that really easy birdie. But it just brings in that much more risk. So it's fun to watch how everyone plays.
It sure does. Here we are checking in with the chase card and Missy Gannon on hole 14. I bet that's a thrasher.
Good guess.
And I bet it's inside circle 1.
What if it's a cicada? Her new tour series. I should
Missy's got some distance, but I think it's a thrasher.
Oh, shots fired.
Chantel getting some good height.
Oh, wow.
That. Oh, my gosh. That was like
kind of an ace
run.
Could have
been an ace run for sure.
Nice. Be cool to get a tree hit ace.
That would be sick.
And these trees are no joke. Missy, fortunate to have a look around it and makes good on a really perfect drive.
Yeah, definitely a couple spots on this green where you could kick or roll to and just have absolutely nothing.
You'd have to lay all the way down on the ground to see the basket from the middle of, especially that last tree.
Yeah, those are some, they've got some circumference.
They're mature.
They are mature. Through 13 holes, Silva, Saarinen got a bogey and then bounced back with 2 birdies, extending that lead to 3 and sitting still with that hot round.
Missy Gannon climbing into 3rd place, though, tied for the hot round at 6.
Hole 14, par 3, 314 feet. This is a pretty straightforward hole, but as we said, a tight, challenging green. You really want to think about your placement on your drive. Most players are going to be throwing a straight, could be a mid, could be a fairway, could be a distance driver, just trying to push straight as possible. There is kind of a forehand gap down the left side that we saw.
It's not great.
It's not great.
It just brings in the lower ceiling.
I agree. It's not great, but I think it is there.
It's technically there. You're right.
I wouldn't throw it, but
okay, fair.
Well, I have thrown it, but
Silva pushing it too far to the right, catching a tree, kicking left. It was another pretty stiff headwind here.
It was, and Kristin caught this first tree here with the forehand yesterday. She is trying to show us
straight forehand
throw it, and that was awesome.
Okay, I guess that'll shut us up for a second. But I think we were both referring to that more left side forehand play with the gap being quite a bit smaller. Here's that headwind we were talking about, just kind of taking control of Hanna's disc, but the tree fighting back.
Yes, the tree is fighting back. That might be in a tough spot, might not have a clean look at the basket.
There's one tiny gap through those 2 trees.
I That had to be an early release. I don't think Paige is going for that left side there.
I don't think so. But also it was churning and then was oddly stable. It's just just kind of a misfire, but she'll be fine for par.
That would look like a pretty solid run there from Silva. Just a little bit left.
We don't often get to see Silva do kind of a step or a jump putt, and it's always fun to see her bring that into play.
Yeah. So Paige still got a chance.
Do it.
That looks good. Oh,
wow.
Tickles the right side chains.
I apologize saying she's good for par. Hannah! See, there's the gap.
There's a gap. That was like a throw putt. She had to put some hyzer on that to get around those trees. Let's
Give us
see
the slow-mez.
Yeah.
Oh, did you see her in the background?
She knew it. She was ready for that to drop in.
And look at that birdie streak happening.
There
you called
it is.
You called it.
Streaking
Yes.
is alive.
Yes, sure
is
is.
what I was gonna say, but
you said it.
I did say it. Great putt
Wow.
from Kristin. I
Okay.
always love those straddle out putts, and then it takes like 2 steps to get back to standing up all the way.
Yeah, she does her yoga. Clutch putting. Paige almost getting it and Silva too. That
Right.
was a really fun hole.
Very fun. 2 birdies, 2 pars. Putting those feet together for her tap in. Silva maintains the lead, but Hanna gets 1 stroke closer with that exciting throw in.
Yeah, that's a really good slow-mez with her arms up in the air like that. I really enjoyed that.
And that was one of the easier holes on the day, averaged 2.82, third easiest hole on the day. Feels good to get a birdie on that one.
Yeah, man, our whole lead card, all 5 and 6 down, playing really well out here. Hole 15 is a par 3, 337 feet. The drone is flying the left gap, which is good for a turning shot or a power sidearm. It's probably the cleanest line. If you take the right side, which is kind of where the B pin position is, you can go up the middle or you can go way out and around and try to get some ground play, but there's not one really perfect gap. I think it takes a little bit of luck to get through cleanly.
For sure. But I would say that was the middle gap that we were flying, because I think...
Oh, you're fair. Yeah.
I would say this is the left gap, that forehand gap that Kristin just absolutely pured.
You're right.
But it is similar. Still, there's some kind of straggler trees that you have to miss at the end.
Yeah, it's actually almost impossible to fly the gap that the drone flew, really. Just don't do that.
Yeah, I mean, you could, but I wouldn't.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. Hanna catching really early. It can be tricky sometimes to scramble. There's a lot of trees in the way.
That looks just a little bit low. Maybe an early release there from Silva.
Yeah, it needs more
Snagging
turn
a tree.
too.
Paige playing the hyzer.
Making
almost
that
catching
guy.
the spectator.
Yeah,
Maybe not almost, but
waking him up from his nap anyhow.
getting him a little bit more alert.
And Paige, I'm not sure if she was trying to go wider there. That was a pretty stable disc, but she's going to be maybe in circle 2, it looks like. Hanna with a lot of work here, puts a lot of heat on that from a standstill. That's great.
Yeah, that is a great scramble shot. This hole had a lot of pars. 80% of the field parred this hole.
Wow.
Kind of surprising. I mean,
Really? I don't know. It's
I guess there's no
touchy.
OB. It's pretty easy to get to like circle 3 and then
Uh-huh.
lay it up.
yeah.
I get it.
I do think that the B position is going to be pretty fun with a lot of birdies tomorrow.
Yeah, I agree.
This one's just, yeah, there's not one really truly great line.
Mm-hmm.
There's a few that can work. Do it, Paige. Yes.
Wow, getting that circle 2 putting working.
Huge putt. What was that, 60 feet?
That was a big one.
Let's see it again.
Catch the slow-mez. Putting her whole power into that. Dropping into the left side of the cage. She
Awesome.
is hyped
Yeah.
up.
It's so fun to watch those go in when you have to, oh, nice putt from Hanna. When you have to put a little bit of kind of turn on the disc to
Yeah.
get it all the way there, you
Yeah.
know it's far. Hanna squeaking out of there with a par. Kristin for her birdie.
Perfect. That, for me, I would say is the ideal way to play the hole. I really like that forehand if you have the power down that left side, and just an easy putt for Kristin for that birdie.
Yeah, but most of us aren't you. That's a huge forehand.
It requires a lot of power.
What, probably like 350 feet of power on the sidearm, easy?
I think so.
Missy Gannon, 8 down, dang.
Dang, girl.
What's going on, guys? Hold My Bag just launched the greatest disc golf fantasy game in the universe.
Hold My Bag just dropped the best fantasy disc golf game the planet has ever seen.
I want to tell you guys about the newest disc golf fantasy game on the market.
One of my favorite parts is the Hold My Bag. This is something that we started doing, and it's actually a lot of fun.
Moving on to hole 16, par 3, 299 feet. We've got a Mando right by the tee. We've got out of bounds canal down the left side.
Yeah.
We've got an OB green up by the green and a basket on top of a hill. This is a tough shot. I think the cleanest line is a flex or kind of flat to hyzering forehand, but there definitely are backhand lines that can get you there.
This is for sure the play. Just like the slight flip or turn on the sidearm. But, I mean, it says 299. It takes a little more power than that. It's a little uphill. And it's risky. If you kind of flip it over, that canal comes up quick.
It sure does. And Paige, hyzer flip, hits that little patch of hard dirt, gets a nice slide up into circle one.
That is not a line you see very often.
No, and I remember Paige just throwing this hole really well with a backhand and just kind of, making me shut up when I was saying
it's a forehand.
Yeah.
Well, she tends to do that.
That looks nice, maybe a little bit early catching that tree.
And that's more the typical backhand line that you see. Paige going straight at the OB was pretty freaking cool.
Yeah.
Good trust in her discs. Silva from distance.
Overall, those are 4 pretty good drives for any card to have, which, makes sense. They're on the lead card.
Yeah, checks out. Hanna from a little outside 40 feet, giving it a little jumper. Miss low right. Kristin making a really nice push in the last 5 holes here. Here is for 4 in a row.
For a fat turkey.
Nice. A fat turkey, that's funny.
That's what I call it.
I like it. Madison and I do regional birds, but she's not here. But I know the quail is the state bird, California quail, so we'll go with that.
Paige knew that was just a little bit right. She's thanking the disc golf gods. That one little chain on the right side, giving her that birdie.
I love that.
And 2 birdies, 2 pars out here. Pretty good. Honestly.
Good. Yeah, there can't have been I don't know, I guess 10 birdies max on this hole.
There were 15 birdies.
What? Okay.
3 bullseyes.
Take me out of the booth. I don't belong here.
Get out of here, Erika.
That's really good.
Yeah.
It's a tricky one.
Really good. We've got some hot rounds. Kristin and Missy Gannon both at 8 under.
Yeah, tied for the round and the tournament.
Yeah.
Hole 17, a par 4, 626 feet. You want to throw something as far as you can, although power players can find that water if you're not careful. I like something that turns and finishes a little more to the right side rather than the left. Then second shot is kind of a straight shot over the water. If you leave it short on the drive, you occasionally will see a layup if you're out of position. They really tightened the right side out of bounds, making kind of that last island, I guess you can call it, a lot smaller. There used to be a bigger bailout zone.
Yeah, they tightened this one up, added that another little tree.
They did.
To make it harder. Missy throwing a great drive into a great spot.
Looks like she's got a California quail of her own, aka fat turkey, which I like almost as much.
She could make it a really, like a Thanksgiving turkey. She
Oh,
could make it
man.
a Thanksgiving goose there. She almost took that one out.
Fantastic shot. Definitely pushing those right side trees a little, but that's the best kind of way to play this hole. It's way safer on the right than the left. And that's to
I like
go
that
9
shot.
down.
I like that shot of Missy. I love watching Missy breathe. I think if you're struggling with focus,
Yeah.
you should watch Missy breathe. It's a great way to stay centered for your shots and your putts.
Yeah, I feel relaxed when I watch it.
Oh, Kristin pulling that
Ooh.
right. Honestly, probably a good tree.
Yeah, but it'll be decision time for Kristin. She can go across, but it's a massive shot.
Yeah, she's probably looking at maybe a little less than 400 to
Yeah.
clear.
Right around 4, I think. Paige going more to the right, and she's right in front of an old tee we used to play that kind of forced you to go across the water. I think she'll go across from there.
That looks nice for Hanna. Just in front of that green.
I'm glad they're highlighting his flag work because this spotter is
It
really
was
crisp lines.
Crisp, enthusiastic.
Yep.
I love it.
10 out of 10. Yeah, it's nice to have so many spotters on Thursday and Friday. Volunteers, scorekeepers, big gallery. Good event.
I think I heard there were over 150 volunteers
Wow.
for the whole event. So shout out. Thanks everybody who's out helping out. We all appreciate it. Kristin is going for it. That
Oh, man. She's going to
looks
clear it easily.
good.
Look at her. She's fine.
Wow.
She's putting.
She's putting.
Wow.
She's just outside the circle.
That's a massive shot. She just did it so casually. Very cool.
Very cool.
Yeah, Paige closer to, probably 330 to the pin, something like that.
Yeah, that is beautifully thrown as well. Dropping just in front of that tree.
Great line. Silva in a pretty typical spot here.
That
Oh,
looks
looks perfect.
perfect. Skipping up. Yeah,
Gorgeous.
that's a great shot. This basket obviously is on top of a mound, so you can get a couple weird reactions here and there, but some great shots.
Oh, nice shot from Hanna, too. Really trusting the stability of that disc. Everyone on the dance floor.
Yeah. 4 great approach shots there from the card.
This is for 5 in a row, which, as you know, we put a little golden sombrero on our regional bird, or fat turkey in this instance. So
A
that
golden sombrero? That's what you call it?
That is what we call it, for no reason other than it's fun.
That's fun. Okay, but you know, in golden sombrero in baseball means,
Uh-oh. Is it actually a thing?
yeah, it means you struck out, I think it's 4 times in a game.
Well,
Maybe it's 3 times, but it's
Either
not
way,
good.
It's good here.
It's good in disc golf, and Kristin
What a putt.
with a good putt.
Yeah, she was stoked on it. That's funny. I didn't know it was a real thing. Probably should have Googled it before, like, making it into a
You know,
a
you
real
can call
thing.
it whatever you want.
It's true. Oh, wow. A rare air ball from a pretty short distance from Silva. Big
Yeah.
putted.
Big putted indeed. I wonder if some of that pressure from Kristin's
Charge.
golden sombrero.
Yes. Yeah. The golden sombrero is on the bird.
On the bird. Okay.
Yeah. So
the
it's
quail
like,
with a golden sombrero.
yeah. Or fat turkey with a golden
That sounds
sombrero.
like a Harry Potter book.
Yeah, it sure does. And 3 birdies on our lead card. If you would have told me that Kristin would birdie from there and Silva wouldn't, I would be surprised.
Yeah, me as well.
Look how tight these scores are moving into the
Getting
final
real close.
hole.
We got 16, 15, 14, 13. And Hanna Huynh, after a pretty slow start, has put some gas on the fire. She is 5 down in the last 9. Moving, well, not moving up, but staying up the leaderboard.
Staying up, staying there.
Kristin and Missy both shooting hot as well. Moving into hole 18, par 4, 569 feet. This is old hole 17. This is a very dramatic finisher. You're looking to land right around here, just short of the water. And obviously the water's OB, but the OB line on the left side has been brought in considerably from previous years. And we're just trying to stick this this peninsula green.
Ever shrinking green.
Ever shrinking. It's probably about 15 feet, maybe closer to the water.
Yeah, I think closer, but it's close.
And you can choose to go right side like Kristin is doing. There is also some space out left. There is a green, OB golf green on the left side, but can be kind of difficult to find that.
I like the right side play. Mostly this year they planted that tree that is kind of in the way of what Paige just did, but she obviously did it perfectly. And then if you go push too far straight, because once again it's a headwind here, those trees can definitely be in your way.
For sure. Definitely helpful to get out to the left side. Give yourself a clean look into the green.
Yeah, Hanna landing in a nice spot.
That looks really nice from Silva. Right out into the open and nice flat footing, I think.
Yeah.
The approach shots on this hole, you can kind of get yourself on a bit of a side hill. There's not a ton of flat ground in the ideal landing zone, so got to take that into account just a bit.
Oh,
on
good
your approach shot.
Yeah.
That looks close.
Dang it.
No.
I like that she hung it out so wide. It's just brutal because unless that touched up there, she'll have to take it way back.
Yeah, and in years prior, there has been a lot more space on that left side as more of a bailout zone if you don't want to attract this green like Paige is doing.
Wow, cool shot from Paige.
That was great. She's been throwing that orange disc. I believe that is a Raptor. She's been throwing that all over this course.
Silva with a perfect shot, able to go standstill here. Wondering how much she's going to push the water. A lot.
She's trying to go straight at it. I really like this play.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Me too.
Buzz in the basket just a little bit. I like that play because you're giving yourself a better chance of being in bounds or crossing in bounds even if you end up out of bounds.
And that's the advantage of the forehand that Kristin is throwing as well. A lot more land in the way, even if she doesn't end up sticking in bounds. She did skip just barely into the water yesterday, and this kind of looks
too high.
like the same result. But she'll be close for a par save.
Oh, and some frustration there from Kristin. We don't usually see her making the same mistake 2 days in a row.
Yes,
so.
And not a great one to make because obviously if she wants to win this one, she will probably want to do well on this hole.
On this specific hole, yes.
Hanna, after a great round, having to throw a really challenging shot. You can see the headwind keep this really straight, and she'll just have to rethrow.
Oh, that is the danger here of the backhand hyzer. It just, especially with this wind coming across the water. That needs. Yeah, that's fine.
Nice and stable, plenty of power.
But yeah, it brings in. You're just crossing the water the whole way. It makes it really, really dangerous if you don't cross inbounds.
Do it, Hanna.
Okay.
Wow.
Saves the bogey for the last hole, but
triple bogey.
A great round for Hanna.
It was,
overall.
Such a good round. Let's finish with a Jomez. Brutal finishing hole.
That is a bold putt to take, but you know when you're putting for triple bogey, it feels like might as well, and she executes it perfectly to finish out her round.
And is still going to be in a decent position, but a bummer to kind of lose that many on the final hole.
Absolutely. Paige finishing with a fat turkey
yes.
or
We'll
California
go.
quail.
You know, you're in the booth. It's your call. It's a fat turkey.
Kristin putting for par. Cans it.
And again, I mean, she's not playing the hole badly, but if
she's making the right error, but
exactly,
you don't want to make the error no matter what.
You said it.
And Silva with a birdie, extending her lead to 3 strokes going into day 3. Today's day 2.
Yes, you got it. Only 1 bogey for Silva. Really, not too many blemishes on the score. The scorecards.
Only 1 bogey hole for each of our lead card members.
Very good point. Silva leading the way, 7 down today, puts her 3 strokes ahead of Paige Pierce, Kristin Lätt, and Missy Gannon, all shooting 9 down, all at 14 under for the tournament. The top 6 or so definitely look like they're in contention, and then we're starting to see some scoring separation as you get past the top 10 here. A lot of hot scores out there today.
A lot of hot scores. A lot of hot scores tied for second place. Silva putting down a great round today, but got to be a little bit intimidated with 3 of those past major winners, including some big majors, tied for second, 3 strokes behind her with 2 days to go.
Yeah, should be some more exciting golf. We have a new layout tomorrow. We'll see a lot of changes on, it feels like half the holes out there.
Yeah, I believe in practice there were 37 baskets on the course.
That's
so
insane.
A lot of changes for tomorrow. Some of the same holes, quite a few new ones. Should be pretty exciting.
Yeah, well, come join us. Thanks to the Founders Club. Please help us get to 500,000 followers as well on YouTube. And thanks for joining us. I said that already. I'm Erika Stinchcomb.
I'm Ella Hansen. Thanks for joining us.
Yep.
Bye.
Sunshine, get up on my body, know that truly I feel fine. Get up, watch your body, and I feel that sunshine. Get up on my body, know that truly I feel fine.